I started out in education as a teacher of English as a foreign language. And in the language classroom, to create an effective learning experience, we would design each lesson around a learning event. And by that I mean that you might be teaching a particular point of language. It might be a piece of grammar or a chunk of vocabulary. And everything in the lesson would be built on stages that take the students towards achieving those learning outcomes. And that's the event. You're taking them on a journey to the main event. So it might be that you would present the knowledge to them, give them the opportunity to practice and controlled activities to get better at it, and then hopefully by the end they would be able to reproduce it in more meaningful contexts. And that's the event you're working up to, and you can make explicit to the students that everything is culminating in that event. I think when we sit down to design a week's worth of study, if you're designing a course, for example, a fully online distance course that's built around several weeks of study, each week should be built around a learning event. So similarly, we might present the knowledge, the theory, the concepts that you want the students to acquire, and then give them some way of practicing it. Maybe that's the discussion board where they test their knowledge against their peers. And then by the end of the week, they're able to contextualize and apply that knowledge. And the important thing is that you can make that explicit to your students. You can tell them that each stage is leading up to that event and will help them to achieve that more effectively. So rather than packing the week with discussion boards for this and quizzes for that and a plethora of activities that students might not carry out, you structure your week of study around a learning event, make that explicit to the students, and tell them that each step that they're asked to do in that week will help them achieve that event, and that will help them achieve the learning outcomes for that week.